Hi, I'm Alicia Stirling. I'm here at the beautiful Sunset Center where the Monterey Peninsula Ballet Theater will be performing the Nutcracker on December 3rd through 5th, 2021. Things have opened up.
Yay.
We are here with Nora. She is our Sugar Plum Fairy. And let me just tell you, I have watched this girl dance for years and I am such a big fan.
Oh, thank you.
I have always been a big fan of yours.
You
You started, let's see, what was the first role you played in the Nutcracker?
I was the 2018 Clara.
Oh
So
my
that
gosh.
was
Okay,
like
was that
the
your
first?
first?
Yeah, that was the first Nutcracker.
Okay, so when
that I
you
ever did.
start off in the Nutcracker, you're starting off as Clara. That's
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And I'd never done, like, even when I was little, I'd never done Nutcracker. So it was kind of like a whole learning experience.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you know anything about what the Nutcracker was about, really, before you went into it?
I had watched it before, but that was like when I was really little, and I was always really nervous to like audition. Like that whole process just really scared me as a
Yes.
kid, and so I always kind of shied away from it. But then when MPBT started, I decided that I was going to audition. It was like my first or second year on point.
Okay.
So like going into it, I had no idea how much the community of MPBT like meant, and like the whole learning experience and the crazy amount of hours that you have to rehearse. So it was honestly kind of like learning as I went, navigating Clara and all the rehearsals that I had to go to, and also like the stress level.
Yes.
And I think there was also like I put a lot of pressure on myself that first year to kind of live up to the other Claras that I had seen on video.
Well, sure. I mean, to start off as Clara, that's kind of
Yeah.
pressure right there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like you're going in and just being like, I'm just going to sit back here and see
Yeah.
how you guys are doing. It's like you're out there
Yeah.
in the spotlight the whole
Yeah.
thing.
The whole thing. So
Wow.
yeah.
What an experience. Okay, so how many years have you my understanding is you've done Clara
Twice.
Twice,
I did do
okay.
it twice, yeah.
Okay.
So that second year that I was doing it, I was supposed to be Dewdrop in waltz scene. And so our Clara that year unfortunately got hurt.
Oh, okay.
And it was like a week before the actual
Oh
performance.
my gosh, bless your heart.
Yeah, so I got to do it again, which was kind of nice. I think it was a great way for me to send off the role to somebody else. Because I think after doing it the first time, I was like, I did a good job, but I wish I could do better. And so I think
not
was,
everyone gets that
yeah,
opportunity to go
yeah.
back and do it again.
So yeah, so it was nice, and it was a nice way for me to kind of like let go of the role and like get ready for the next one that I was gonna do.
That's so great.
Yeah.
So okay, after now and then COVID hit.
Then I did Snow Queen, and then
Oh,
after
gotcha.
that,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
was COVID.
So how was Snow Queen?
It was so much fun. We got to partner with one of our amazing teachers who was working there at the time, and so that really helped like prepare me for partnering with someone who's flying in only a couple days before the actual show.
Good. So you
Yeah.
had someone that could be with you on the weekends or
Yes,
every week.
yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and Snow Queen has like from the first moment I got cast as Clara, I was always like, I really, really want to try and be Snow Queen, because I just loved like the tutu is so pretty.
Yes.
And just snow scene itself.
There's just something about her.
Yeah.
And the scene, you're
And the
right.
scene,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
the scene kind of always brings a little bit of tears to my eyes in a
Yeah.
way, that music and everything. But
Yeah.
there is something about the Snow Queen. I was
Yeah.
telling the previous interview, I said, that she's stoic, yet at the same
Yeah.
time she's sweet and
And
yeah,
the dynamic of this whole scene, like music-wise, it goes from like really, really soft in Snow Paw
Yeah.
to like this big kind of intense moment at the end of Snow.
Yeah.
That we call it Snowstorm. So, yeah.
Now, was that your first time partnering with anybody?
Yes, that
Really?
that was my first time. In Clara, she had one of the other students kind of partner as Nutcracker,
Right.
but you weren't really doing like a whole paw in terms of like finger turns and a whole
Sure.
bunch of crazy lifts. So that was another learning experience, and I definitely grew from that
Yeah.
as a dancer. Yeah.
Oh wow, and that's
Yeah.
that's quite. I mean, as far as the, I want to say like the difficulty
Yeah.
in dancing. Now that's
Yeah.
kind of a hard thing to learn partnering in, isn't it?
Totally. And I think also just because we had to fly in somebody for Snow Cavalier, that was also an interesting experience because I had gotten so used to partnering with the person that I was practicing with.
Yeah.
And so having to like kind of flip to somebody else who was doing things a little differently,
Yeah.
that was a little stressful. And I just remember like that first tech rehearsal, Snowpaw did not go very well. And so it was just like, ugh. But then the shows were really good.
Yeah, as soon as the curtains open up
Yeah.
and you go out there, it's all of a sudden you become that person. And
Yeah.
speaking of becoming that person,
Yeah.
this is something that most dancers, I believe, dream of, is to be
Yeah.
Sugar Plum Fairy.
Yeah.
So when you were, now how long have you been dancing?
I've been dancing since I was like 2.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So ever since, did you always look at, when you first saw the Nutcracker
Mm-hmm.
way back when, did you ever look at it and go, that's what I want to be?
And well, I don't know. I think when I was younger, I never pictured myself in Nutcracker. So it was always just like admiring all the other
Yeah.
dancers that were doing it. But definitely once that first Clara year, I think in the back of my head, I was always like, oh, I really, really want to try and be Sugar Plum.
Yeah.
Because it's just such a pretty ethereal role, and it's kind of a shift from, playing Clara, who's supposed to be a little bit younger and a little more naive, and then Snow Queen, who's, a little bit more intense. And
Yeah.
so I think it's going to be a nice challenge.
Oh yeah,
To kind
definitely.
of change up my dancing a
That's,
little bit.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of the most beautiful. Well, I say that about every scene in the Nutcracker.
Yeah.
It's one of the most beautiful scenes. The music's so perfect,
Yeah.
but there is something about the Sugar Plum Fairy that it kind of makes you feel. Well, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it right now. So I just cannot wait to see you.
Aw, thank you.
Now you're a senior this year, right?
I am a senior, yes.
So this is your. I mean, what are your plans after you graduate?
So I'm trying to graduate. I'm on track to graduate a year early.
Wonderful.
So right now, it's kind of just take all the classes that I have to take to kind of qualify to apply, and then also getting all my applications ready.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Yeah.
But
Are you doing college or are you going
college.
for oh, okay. So what
Yeah.
about dancing? Are you
I think as much as I would love to try an audition for a company, I think for me, I want to try and go into PT,
Yeah.
and that takes a lot of schooling.
Wonderful.
And so I don't really want to, spend a lot of my life in
I
school.
think that's an amazing thing. I love
Yeah.
hearing that because
Yeah.
someone with this girl's talent, I have to say you could automatically go, oh, she can go be an accountant. No problem. It's not. But the fact that you know that you'll always have dance. You'll
Yeah.
always be a beautiful dancer.
Aw,
And that's
thank
the
you.
truth. You've got that foundation and that's amazing. But it's nice to hear that you've got
Yeah.
your plan. So I'm wanting to know, what is your favorite part of the Nutcracker? What is it that you look forward to the most?
I personally, as much as I love performing and, being in rehearsals with my friends, I have really loved doing all the outreach performances that we do for all the little kids.
Yeah.
Because, you get to go and perform in their schools, and you get to answer questions that they have, and they're just so cute, and it's so fun to see them light up when
Yeah.
they see us dancing.
Yes.
And there have been so many times where, after we've gone and performed, a little kid will write a little note and make a little drawing, and I just love it so much.
That is so
Yeah.
sweet. I love that. I can't wait to see that.
I know, right? It's my favorite.
I've seen the outreach performances, and I always think there are some children out there that are just, they had never thought maybe to try out for
Yeah.
any sort of dance, and when you go out there and you perform to them, you give them an idea.
Yeah.
You give them a thought that maybe they could be a part of this, and
Yeah.
maybe someday they could be the Sugar Plum Fairy or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it's an amazing thing what you guys do, and I love the fact that that's what you look forward to. I mean,
Yeah.
because it's easy to look forward to the costumes,
Yeah, of
the
course.
makeup, the tiara. Everyone loves a good tiara.
Yeah.
But I think it's wonderful that that you look forward to the sparkle in their eyes when they see
Yeah.
it. So that's really nice to hear.
Yeah.
I love that. So when it comes to Sugar Plum Fairy, I know you've just had about 2 rehearsals.
Yes.
Okay. Have you danced yet with your partner?
I have not.
Okay.
So my partner is dancing with Oklahoma City Ballet.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he actually probably won't be able to be here until like the week before Nutcracker.
Perfect. So you're just gonna.
So I'm just gonna.
Same thing you did with Snow Queen.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna. That's. I love the fact that you guys can adapt.
Yeah, and I'm lucky enough to have someone to practice with until then, because kind of going in full force at the last minute's pretty nerve-wracking. So it's nice to kind of be able to ease that with being able to practice and.
Oh, that's wonderful! I just can't wait. So speaking of the costume,
yes.
Have you had your first fitting?
I actually got to order my tutu, and so.
This is going to be a brand new one then
yes,
for you. Oh, this is exciting. This is very exciting.
Yeah, and ever since I kind of knew that I wanted to be Sugar Plum, my parents were always kind of prepared to buy me a tutu.
I love it.
And I actually get to use it for my variation this year as well, which is
Thank
really
you, Mom and
nice.
Dad.
Yeah.
Yes, this is perfect. What is your variation going to be?
I'm doing Aurora's Vision variation.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
So pretty, yeah. So I think
that's beautiful.
it's going to be nice to kind of have the memories of Sugar Plum and then also be able to tie it in with my last comp season.
Oh, that's perfect. Are you using the same tiara and everything?
Probably.
Oh, it's one of my favorite things to go pick out. I don't know. It's not that I've got this thing about tiaras. I don't wear them on a daily basis, but I do like to go pick out tiaras. It's always fun.
They're so fun.
So that's very exciting. I'm glad you get your, you've got it all set up for the year to come.
Yes.
Are you doing any other variations, or are you just going to do the one and...
I am doing one classical variation, and then I also had a lyrical solo choreographed.
Wonderful.
That I will be competing along with 5 team dances.
Yes, the team dance. I'm so excited about that too. I know Nutcracker is amazing, and we all have such a wonderful time, but we have to admit that after Nutcracker comes the team stuff, and that's always fun.
Yeah.
So, well, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk to me and educate me on the wonderful things about the Sugar Plum Fairy. I'm so excited. And at the Sunset Center, if you all get a chance, this place is magical in itself.
Yeah.
So even when it's not the Nutcracker, the symphonies here, I mean concerts, many things come here to the Sunset Cultural Center here in Carmel, California. Yeah. So Monterey Peninsula Ballet Theater is so excited for this year's Nutcracker, and to watch Nora perform the Sugar Plum Fairy is going to be one of the highlights. I have to admit, I'm so excited.
Yes, I am too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you, and we'll see you all at the Nutcracker.